Yo, that night was special. This was one of the happiest moments of my life. The only thing that could come close is when the Clippers won a championship one day. Cause bro, this was a moment I dreamed of for years. I remember always dream booking a CM Punk return with my action figures when I was younger. I always got hyped when WWE was in Chicago because there was always that 1% chance that he could be pulling up. And after almost 10 years, at Survivor Series 2023, CM Punk finally made his return to the WWE. It still feels like yesterday. We had Rollins ready to risk it all, Randy and Jay didn't care about nothing, and every fan in Chicago was losing their minds. This all just felt unreal. Hell really froze over. This was a moment that I'll never forget, a moment that made me feel like a kid again. Just my favorite wrestling moment ever. Ever since I started watching wrestling, CM Punk was the coolest. He made WWE feel cool again. He was the voice of the voiceless, which meant he was the best on the mic. He was saying everything that he wasn't supposed to say, and he cooked everyone that stepped up to him. And if you had some real life beef with him, you didn't want to go bar for bar with him on the mic, cause he was gonna put all your business out there. Like when he called out Randy for his motorcycle incident. And when this dude said Triple H was burying wrestlers while he was in the bed with Stephanie. Bro, Punk was just a man on a mission. No one could control him. And that's how he made WWE feel so real. Cause he wore his heart on his sleeve. So if he had something to say, he was gonna say it. Like his iconic pipe bomb where he was exposing his own boss Vince McMahon, saying he can't wait for his death. Then he dissed everyone in the wrestling industry. And then he talked about leaving WWE and name dropped every other wrestling company he was thinking about going to. Yeah, Punk was 101. Just imagine if social media was the way it is today at that time. Everyone would have been going insane. And even though it was 2011 and social media wasn't as big as it is today, Punk still became a megastar and the biggest babyface in the company. And at Money in the Bank 11, he beat John Cena for the WWE Championship and blew Vince McMahon a kiss goodbye. Yeah, I was only 6 years old when that happened, but bro, once I started watching wrestling and I saw all his legendary moments, I fell in love. He became one of my favorites with the quickness. The two matches that really put him over for me was Punk vs Taker at WrestleMania 29 and Punk vs Brock at SummerSlam 13. Those were easily two of the best matches in 2013. Punk vs Taker was just special for me because that was my first favorite match. I remember I had WrestleMania 29 on DVD and I used to watch it all the time before I went to sleep. So the whole Taker and Punk feud became one of my favorites. It also makes it more special that that was Taker's last great match at WrestleMania. And then in the summer, we had the Beast versus the Best in the World. And damn, that was just amazing. It's definitely one of the greatest SummerSlam matches ever and one of my favorite matches of all time. We had two Paul Heyman guys going at it, and the things they were doing in this match, yeah, it was just a classic. Punk was just feeding families that year, and I didn't think it was gonna end. But like The Office, all good things must come to an end. So at the infamous Royal Rumble in 2014, all the fun was over. Not only cause Batista won a Rumble when everyone wanted Bryan, but because we just witnessed CM Punk's last WWE match, and no one knew it at that time. After all the beefs, all the controversial matches, and all the disrespect, it ended one of the best careers too soon, cause CM Punk quit. Once Punk left, he was gone for good. WWE almost never mentioned him and they definitely tried to erase him from history. CM Punk was the best in the world, so let's do a tournament to name the new best in the world. Yeah, it was bad. The good thing is, us fans never forgot about him, and they always chanted his name even though he wasn't there. And throughout all the years, so many wrestling YouTubers will always make a CM Punk rumor video that he's gonna come back to the WWE. And of course, 10-year-old me was getting his hopes up every time, but always nothing would happen and it always left me disappointed. And the cherry on the top was when I saw CM Punk in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he said he was never ever coming back to wrestling. Yeah, bro, I was sick, I was hurt. That really broke my childhood a little bit. Once CM Punk stopped wrestling, it was just never the same. It felt like it was something missing. Yeah, we still had great moments in 2014, but overall, WWE lost my interest. About 7 years later, after me going back to wrestling to leaving and then going back again, rumors started going around everywhere that CM Punk could be returning to pro wrestling. Yeah, I had PTSD from that stuff. I was not trying to hear it, cause they was saying the same thing for years and nothing would happen. But then I started to hear so many more rumors about it from actual credible sources, but they all said he wasn't gonna return to WWE, but to debut in AEW. Now that changed everything. It was still crazy to imagine CM Punk coming back to wrestling, but a different company made a little more sense. Also, Punk to AEW felt like it would fit him really good, cause him being a voice of the voiceless and he was against WWE, it felt like it could be the perfect place for him. After all the rumors, it actually happened. CM Punk pulled up to AEW in his hometown. Bro, the crowd blew the roof off the place. This man had fans crying, losing their minds, pinching themselves cause they thought it was a dream. And I'm so happy I listened to the rumors cause I never watched AEW before this, so I would have been mad if I didn't get to see his return live. This was something I was waiting for years to see, and it happened. He gave us one of the greatest returns to pro wrestling, and that was only the beginning, cause Punk's AEW run started off hot. He had a great feud with Eddie Kingston, a legendary feud with MJF, so many great promo battles, and he won a few AEW World Championships. Yeah, I was happy to see CM Punk back in the ring, but I always wanted him back in WWE cause I didn't watch AEW like that. Now I'm not gonna get too deep into this whole AEW run cause I wasn't really watching it, but bro, it ended bad. There was just mad drama and even backstage fights, and in most of the drama it always seemed like CM Punk was involved in it. A lot of fans hated this and they felt like Punk was messing up AEW, which also created a big split between the whole roster. Some people were on Punk's side, some people were on the Elite side, and the rest just wanted to wrestle. But to finish it all off, we had the whole Cry Me a River incident, and at AEW's biggest show ever, there was a little tussle backstage with CM Punk. And yeah, Punk and AEW parted ways. It was over. Once Punk got released, we didn't hear anything from him. No one knew what was next for Punk. It's crazy, his return was too good to be true. This man used to be loved by all fans and most of the IWC turned on him. Everyone had their own opinions about the situation, but most fans felt very negative about him. A lot of people thought his career was over. But then you have fans like me that didn't care. We just wanted CM Punk to return to the WWE. And a perfect place for that was at Survivor Series in his hometown Chicago. The closer we got to Survivor Series, the more rumors we started to hear. Some people were saying it's no chance, others were saying it's too good not to happen. And then of course me, I had my mind set that CM Punk was gonna come back. I didn't care what no one else was saying. I was working at Macy's at the time and I had to tell my boss I was not working the next day after Survivor Series cause CM Punk was gonna come back and I was finna have a celebration. Man, I was sad. I deleted Twitter for like a good week so I didn't get any spoils and I was ready for Survivor Series. Survivor Series 2023 was pretty good. The women's war game was GOAT tier. The Miz vs Gunther was special and the Chicago crowd brought that energy the whole show. It was just so much fun. And oh yeah, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Randy Orton, returned to the WWE. So yeah, me and the boys was hype. Randy was back like he never left. But I was being ungrateful because the whole night I wanted CM Punk. It didn't matter who was fighting, I wanted Punk to pull up and nobody could change my mind. Like we got Zoe Stark and Rhea Ripley fighting and I'm just like, where's CM Punk? Bruh, you gotta remember the past 9 years, I was waiting patiently for this. I was calling out of work just cause there was a chance of Punk returning. So once the main event ended and everything seemed great, Randy was back, the good guys won, and it was a good Survivor Series. but I had to accept defeat. This dream of CM Punk returning was just never gonna happen, and I was sad. Nah, the unthinkable happened. This man broke the internet again. Bro, I felt like I was in a dream. I'm thinking I'm about to wake up because this is the good part of the dream. Bro, this just didn't seem real. All this man did was pull up, jeans and a white beater, didn't say a word and left. And this was the best thing I ever seen in my life. The crowd obviously gave this man one of the biggest pops in history. We had everyone going crazy. We had this guy become the Chicago guy, and we had Rollins ready to risk it all. Man, this was a night in wrestling I'll never forget. A moment that was 9 years in the making for me. My favorite wrestling moment of all time. Cause of all the years of waiting and praying finally paid off. Now that CM Punk is back in the WWE, he was back to feeding families again. We had him teasing every feud in the book. We saw Rollins and Punk in a heated face-to-face and promo battle, and then the same with Punk and Cody. Bro, Punk came back and every segment he was in was must-watch TV, cause no one knew what he was gonna do or say. But at Royal Rumble 2024, Drew McIntyre injured Punk, and everything was over that fast. It was really heartbreaking. But Punk and McIntyre turned this into one of the best feuds of the year. From Drew telling Punk he prayed for this and he trolled him for months, to Punk costing Drew the moment of his career, and he got back and trolled him for months. Bro, there's so much hatred, so much beef, and so much trolling, and I love all of it. Wrestling is back and I'm all for it. My only thing is, every Monday Night Raw I go to, Punk is never there. I went to a show in December in Albany, Punk is nowhere to be found. Then I hear that he's scheduled to be at the Go Home show to WrestleMania in Brooklyn, New York, so I get tickets thinking he's gonna be there, nowhere to be found. Punk is one of the only wrestlers I never seen, and I gotta finish my story. Like, he's one of my favorites ever, and it just hasn't happened yet. Anyways, thank you guys for making it this far, and let me know down below how you guys feel about CM Punk's return. Peace.